gaze darting all over her face. "If you want to please me," he hissed, "then you'll shut that mouth of yours." She was spoiling his buzz, and he didn't want to start to come down already, especially after the week he'd had. "Baby, I just—" "What did I say?" Glaring at her, he gripped her hair tighter and forced her mouth over his penis, ignoring the sound of her gagging. Stupid little bitch. He wanted to relax, not have her chewing his ear off. Fuck. This was pointless. Now it felt like she was chafing his foreskin with her teeth. Jesus! Furious, he pushed her off and stood up, using his foot to barge her out of the way. "What did you go and do that for?" Back against the wall, she rubbed her head, her naked body marked with self-harm scars. "That frigging hurt, you bastard!" Lowering his voice to a menacing growl, he took a step towards her. "I've had a really hard week, and the last thing I need, Holly, is you giving me back chat. Any chat for that matter. So if you've got any sense in that empty head of yours, take that as a warning and keep it zipped." She snuffled loudly, tears welling in her eyes. Ignoring her tears and needing another hit, he walked naked across the room. He leaned over the chopped lines of cocaine, snorting vigorously, chasing the high which had now been ruined. Moving his neck from side to side to relieve some of the tension, he looked around the shabby overheated room. A stale odour hung in the air, and dirty clothes and shoes were piled up in the corner. Empty burrito wrappers and takeaway cartons, as well as a pack of nappies and a bundle of kids' clothes, were stuffed in the broken cot by the window. The place was a pigsty. His phone buzzed and he flicked a glance at it, watching it spinning around on the top of the dresser, which was propped up with a pile of magazines. He recognised the number. Fuck. He didn't want to, but he knew he needed to take this. Swiping up the phone, he answered, trying not to let paranoia creep over him. "Yes? What is it?" he slurred. "It's Tony. We've got a bit of trouble." The voice on the other end didn't sound confident. "Sorry." Glancing in the mirror as he spoke, he noticed how bloodshot his green eyes were. "I hope for your sake, Tony, it's more than a bit of trouble." The cocaine made his tongue feel heavy and he rolled it around his mouth before adding, "It's Saturday night, so like I say, this better be a whole lot of trouble for you to disturb me when I'm with my family." He looked at Holly, rolling his eyes as she took the last of his cocaine. "Sorry, I realise that, and I wouldn't have a—" "Just get on with it. You know it pisses me off when people don't get to the point. Sorry, there's been an incident, and it might be best if you come and—" "Fine. I'm on my way. Oh, and Tony, just for the record, I'm not happy. I'm not fucking happy at all that my weekend is going to be messed up." He sighed, and before the caller had a chance to respond, hung up. He rubbed his temple, a headache beginning to form. There'd been trouble brewing for the past week, and as much as this phone call wasn't wanted, it wasn't entirely unexpected. Grabbing the half-empty whiskey bottle, he took a swig, wiping a drip off his chin with his arm. Then he took another, one for the road. After all, he had a 2.5-hour drive in front of him. Angry at that thought, he put on his watch and wedding ring, pulled on his boxers, trousers and top, checking his hair and clothes in the mirror. He looked at Holly, who now lay back on the bed, her eyes looking heavy. Shaking his head, he threw the money at her. "Tidy this fucking mess up, it's a shithole." She squawked at him. "I'm a hooker, not a frigging cleaner." "Same time next week, hun?" Without bothering to answer, Governor Phil Reed marched out, slamming the door behind him. Chapter 1. Today. HMP Ashcroft, 20 miles outside London. "You ain't fucking gonna take my baby, you hear me? You ain't gonna take him. I won't let you. He's mine."